What's up YouTube? Today I'm going to teach you guys how to do a flat plane surface. So this is useful for if you're just laying out any old like regular stretch of dirt and it has no grade. So say you want to set it to an elevation of 7870, which an elevation is the height from the ocean that you're like what type of dirt you're sitting on, kind of in a way. Like, so I know I'm 78 feet from sea level, right? And the way to do that is, if you guys can see, you open up your settings, right? You open up your settings, you go to File, and you have all these different things. So your projects, a little off topic, but your projects are always going to be your projects, right? Do not mess with those. But you can go to your surfaces, not two surfaces, surfaces, and you can hit New. Then you go to Flat Plane Surface, right? You name it whatever you want. You go to hit OK. Then you'll have these two buttons here, pretty much. One will give you a location of your exact spot. Two, you'll use a point. So you want to hit the one that has the X on the map. And what that basically does, instead of you going through here and having to hit north, east, and you're like where you're at on the map, you'll be able to have that instead of being able to memorize it. So from there you just hit finish, and now you have your flat plane. I already have one on here, so I'm gonna go ahead and delete that. And the way to use that, and you'll know that you're on it, is because you can see how this grid pops up. These squares, what that means is that now I'm on that just flat plane, right? And here I have my profile set where you can see. So that super flat is just the set elevation, right? So you can set that to whatever you want. And then the green is gonna actually be, the actual finish plan. So now we have two profiles here. And to switch, all you have to do, this is a topcon. So all you have to do is hold down on the green line, set active surface, and it's gonna ask you if you wanna switch. You just hit yes, and it loads what the actual plan is. And as you can notice, the square grid is gone. So now you know that you're not on that plan anymore. And to go back, you just hold down again, go to your flat, make sure it says the one that you want to set it to, and then you'll be on that flat plane. Alright, so I went ahead and I switched spots so I could show you guys. Now that we have our flat plane set up, I can go anywhere. And something that's important to know is that elevation that you have set, it doesn't mean squat, right? So it has nothing to do with the finish plan at all. It has nothing to do with it. So once you have your elevation set, it doesn't matter where you go. You don't have to make a new surface. You can just go into your bottom left where you set your elevation offset. Your elevation set point, right? So like if you're -1, -2, whatever, it doesn't matter. If you have your blade where you think you want it, you go ahead and you just hit match, and you're good to go. And I'll show you guys. So now that I have it set in flat, I can just go wherever I want, and no matter where I am, it's gonna push the dirt and set the blade to that exact elevation. Perfectly flat. So the way I use this, I use it as a tool. And that's really all I use it for. Anything else is pretty unnecessary with it. Like if you're trying to just put in a haul road, it's a good example. If you're trying to just put in 1 foot lifts at a time until you get to your final lift, so you can finish grade. That's a good example. Like right here, I'm just putting in a foot lift, so it's not even close to finish grade. It's also a really good tool for whenever you have a lot of sloping. So like right here, I don't know if you guys can see the screen from up there, but there's a lot of slopes and there's a lot of contour lines you're gonna go through here. So it's also best in those situations. So that way, you know, even if you know what elevation would be on the finished grade plans, it's best to use it this way. So that way you can avoid those contour lines. Because if you just set it at the finished grade and you're like, oh, it's -2, we know that. That's where my lift's gonna be. If you go through, it's not gonna be perfectly flat for your trucks, right? Since you're hauling dirt. That's pretty much it, honestly. So whenever you set it up, just to reiterate, go ahead and pull you guys down one more time. Just to reiterate, the way you pull up your menu is pressing the power button, not holding it down, just tapping it. Going to File, Surfaces, New, Flat Plane, set it to whatever you want, right? Type in whatever you want. Flat plane surface, next. And again, you have these two maps. You can use this one, and you can use one of your points that you've made, or you can just hit the elevation that you want. So at this instance, it's going to be 7841 is my elevation, right? That's how high I am from the sea level, and that's what I would put the dirt at. Obviously, that's not what I'm doing here, but that's what you would set it at. So, on top of that, so say you know what elevation your boss told you to put, right? So right now we're at 7843. Say he wants us to be at 77 or 7690, right? Now we know exactly where we are. So we're gonna go, after we have our elevation set, right? Menu, File, Surfaces, New, Flat Plane, blah, blah, blah. Next, and now we know for a fact that our elevation is gonna be 7690, right? Know for a fact. So now, no matter where we are on this job site, we will always be 7690, always, the whole time. Again, to set the file, the profile that you want, is just holding down on that set active surface, and then it'll pop up the one that you want. We're not going to use Lake Nona because we're on our flat, right? Another good thing to note is if you want this profile setting on your screen, you just need to hit the menu button again, go to View, and on my lower window, I have Section set, right? So I like that. Profile is also pretty good. It gives you a side profile of your dozer instead of just a in front. So this shows you the front of your blade. Another cool thing is if you want to mess around with this, this is something that you'll never be able to mess up anything just messing with, right? Because all you got to do is go back in, click the thing that you clicked, and it'll go away. So on your right window, if you want your grade indicator, bow, got that there. Take it off, same thing. Same. Oh, well, you hit none. Another good thing is all of this has all kinds of different things, right? So say if you want your main window, your left window, you want your profile over there. There's a bunch of cool things you can do here. So that's pretty much it, guys. If you have any suggestions or anything as far as the video goes, go ahead and leave me a comment, like, and subscribe. I'll be posting every day, more than likely. If you have any questions about anything that has to do with topcon or any dozer things specifically, or even other machines, go ahead and leave a comment, and I'll make sure to get back to you with, I don't know, maybe every Friday I'll do comments or something. So thanks again for watching, and see you later.